Europe needs to be very worried about Arsenal right now. Bayern Munich came into this game winning 17 out of 18. They actually had the longest winning streak in Europe. 3.6 goals per game scored by Bayern Munich. They have been unstoppable. And particularly in that second half, Arsenal just destroyed them. Arsenal are scary. I am, as a Man United fan, I'm terrified of Arsenal. I hate to admit it, I'm actually terrified because Arsenal showed today that they might not just win the Premier League this season. They might not be clear favourites to win the Premier League. But today I think they've said we're the best team in the world. And I cannot believe I'm saying this because I might have to give Mikel Arteta some big apologies because Arsenal look like they're going to win the league this season. They look like they're going to Mike's fallen. They look like they're going to win a trophy. The Mike doesn't like the idea of Arsenal winning the league. They look like they're going to win a trophy. But Arsenal might win multiple trophies. They might win the Champions League. They could win the lot. And I could be giving Mikel Arteta some serious apologies. We've got to talk about it. We've got to talk about Declan Rice. We've got to talk about Arteta. We've got to talk about Arsenal's chances of winning the Champions League. Mascara was phenomenal today. No Gabriel. Best player this season out. They don't need him versus Bayern. This is why I think Arsenal are the best team in the world. This is why Europe should be scared of Arsenal. They do not have Gabriel. They still beat Bayern Munich. They go to Liverpool, lose Saliba a couple minutes in, and Mascara comes in and you don't even really know it's a drop-off. Now, I know they lost to Liverpool, but it was a free kick. The only game Arsenal have lost this season was this crazy free kick. Atletico Madrid are this really good defensive side, low block. And last season, Arsenal struggled against low blocks, but Arsenal were able to beat them 4-0. Bayern Munich have caused Arsenal so many issues in the past. I remember a few years ago, Gnabry came to the Emirates and destroyed Arsenal. Yeah? So you've shown you can beat low block Atletico Madrid this season, which was your biggest issue last season. But the teams that can maybe match you quality-wise, can you beat them this season? And you can. You can beat Bayern Munich, who have the best attacking quality in the world, and you only concede one goal, and it's the only goal you conceded in the Champions League so far. You are 15 points, 5 out of 5 wins, top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League, and nobody right now looks like they can get close to beating this Arsenal side. And that's terrifying, because Arsenal might not just win the Premier League, they might win the Champions League. And first of all, I then can't banter Arsenal for never winning the Champions League. Second of all, I'm going to have to delete social media because some Arsenal fans online are unbearable and they'll be bringing up receipts. And third of all, I'll have to give Mikel Arteta a big apology because I said Mikel Arteta's a good manager, but he's a coward. Is he a trophy-winning manager? And right now, Arsenal could win it all. And I am terrified, and I apologise that was a long intro with the mic collapsing. But to do that to Bayern Munich, nobody's even come close to beating Bayern Munich this season, let alone beating them like that. The way Declan Rice destroyed Bayern Munich, Arsenal are the best team in the world right now. Because Bayern Munich are going to be the best team in the world right now. Real Madrid and Barcelona just ain't that good. Liverpool beat Real Madrid, and look at Liverpool, 4-1 to PSV. Barcelona got battered by Chelsea. Right now, Chelsea, I think it's the hardest game Arsenal are going to have because Chelsea also are quite good when it comes to Arsenal, and Maresca has that in-game management. I think it could be a Chelsea-Arsenal UCL final. Bayern Munich will be up there. I think Bayern Munich are better than the PSG. PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool, all at the beginning of the season spoken about as Champions League potential winners. I think it could be Arsenal. You can never rule out Inter either. I think Arsenal are the best. And I saw Doogie's tweet here, and I think it says it all. You've also got to remember, when did Arsenal last beat Bayern? Arsenal don't beat Bayern. Bayern won 17 out of 18 games going into this game, were unbeaten, 3.6 goals per game. Arsenal limited them to 2 shots on target, just 0.8 expected goals. And they did this without Gabriel. They did this without Gabriel, guys. Their best defender. Not only did Arsenal beat Bayern, but they limited them. A team that's scoring nearly 4 goals a game, got 1, only just, pretty much limited them. No Gabriel. No, Odegaard wasn't in the starting 11, their captain. Gyökeres and Havertz are out, no recognised striker, and no Gabriel. And they still did that to what was the best team in the world. Arsenal and Bayern were first and second in the Champions League going into this game. The only two teams to win every game. Bayern Munich have beaten PSG this season, and Arsenal dominated. The two best sides in Europe right now met, and Arsenal dominated. That is scary. I am scared. Like, that is a statement win. Sofa scores XG, things are different, but 7 big chances. We talk about Arsenal last season. What cost Arsenal last season? Okay? When there was an injury, it really impacted them. He could take Saka off today. Mikel Arteta could take Saka off today because he's got Martinelli and Madueke he can bring on. He could take Saka off. What happens when he takes Saka off? 2 minutes later, Arsenal score. Fantastic from Calafiore into Madueke, boom. Mikel Arteta can sub someone of Bukayo Saka's quality off and bring on Madueke and he can score. Gyökeres and Havertz can be out and you can still get a shift out of Marino, who probably should have scored 2 goals today. You've got no strikers. You can take Saka off. You can lose Gabriel. You can lose Saliba because you've got Mosquera and Hincapie that can come in. If you lose Timber, you've got Ben White. You could rotate Calafiore and put Lewis Skelly in today, who was probably the weaker point today, but yeah. Like, you can lose all these players and still be phenomenal. You've lost Saliba, Gabriel, Odegaard, Saka, Havertz, and Gyökeres at some point to injury this season, and you're still top of the league. And last season, that's what got you, because you have this elite depth. But last season, you couldn't break down low blocks. Atletico Madrid, the king of low blocks, you beat them 4-0. You missed your chances versus PSG. You came up against elite attack. They took their chances better. You got knocked out to PSG last season. You come up against the most informed team in the world, which isn't PSG, it's Bayern Munich, who you can compare to last season's PSG. And you went and battered Bayern Munich. You have all that quality. You were scoring loads of goals. You went and scored more. You beat Real Madrid 3-0. Real Madrid are beatable. Look at Liverpool, for example. They beat them. Barcelona are beatable. PSG and Bayern Munich are sinister 2 top teams, but Bayern Munich right now, because they're unbeaten, you did that. That is a statement. Arsenal have sent a statement to Europe to be worried about them. Like, I am worried for the first time. I thought this season Arsenal could win the Champions League. They came close last year, but I was like, I think they're going to focus on the Premier League this year. But they have the depth to go Champions League, Premier League, Carabao, FA Cup, quadruple. Could Arsenal be the first ever team to win a quadruple? The only injury that I think could affect Arsenal is Declan Rice, though. I think he is almost irreplaceable. That performance from Declan Rice, particularly in that second half, was magnificent. Like, nothing short of magnificent. He was everywhere. We're going to give Arteta credit in a second, but I want to get up Declan Rice's game numbers. Wow. 100% tackles won, 49 passes, 5 recoveries, 3 chances created, 2 clearances, 1 interception, 1 big chance created, 1 shot. Declan Rice ran the game in the second half. His interception led to the Madueke goal, but he was everywhere. Every time Bayern Munich got the ball, Declan Rice is there. He was stopping Bayern Munich breaking the lines, whether it's tackle, whether it's interception, whether it's marking a player out of the game, forcing Bayern Munich to go backwards, he is there. And he is winning back the ball for Arsenal time and time again. He is covering every blade of grass. Declan Rice was phenomenal. Tackles, ball recoveries, driving runs. Bayern could not play through the midfield. He was destroying attacks. He was starting them. He is a leader. He was the glue. He was the glue. You could argue between him and Caicedo, who is the best midfielder in the world right now? Because that performance from Declan Rice was ridiculous. But I have to give Arteta credit. I don't like Arteta, and I will make that clear. I do not like him as a person. He moans, he whines, he makes up silly excuses, and I think he's been cowardly in big games. Alice does not like Mikel Arteta as a person. I do not like him. But as a manager, I might have been wrong about him. Because I think tactically, what he has shown this season has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And his substitutions, he's not scared to take Saka off. I look at Liverpool, Arne Slot is scared to do anything. He's scared to take this player off and that player off, even though they're underperforming. He's not scared to take Saka off and put Madueke on, which I was like, oh, are you sure we're going to take Saka off? He's your best player. You need a goal. No, he takes Saka off. He brings on Madueke. Lewis Skelly was having a poor game. And I wouldn't say poor game, but I think he got beaten by Elise and was maybe the vulnerable point there. And he takes them off. Calafiore comes on. Madueke comes on. Within 2 minutes, Calafiore makes this fantastic run, puts it into Madueke, and Madueke scores. And Arteta was giving Madueke instructions, absolute instructions, just before he scored. And maybe that's what he's telling Madueke to do. I want you to do this because Calafiore is going to do that. Like, you have the substitution. I mean, Martinelli even scored. He was subbed on as well. But the fact that Martinelli and Madueke can be your wingers off the bench, The fact that you can have, when everyone's fully fit, Gyökeres and Havertz rotating, which is two different striking options that offer two different things. It means Arsenal are so unpredictable because if you come up against Havertz as a defender, you've got a very different job to do if you come up against Gyökeres. So when they're both fit, Arsenal are going to be really unpredictable in that sense because one can do this role and one can do that role. One can run the channels, one can drop deep. You've got Martinelli, Saka, Madueke, Trossard that all offer something different, that are all a threat. You've got Declan Rice and Subamende, who is the midfield pairing. You could argue is the best midfield pairing in the world right now. You've got Yuri Timber, that's the best 1v1 defensive fullback in the world and has really improved his attacking game this season. You've got Calafiore, who can just make those ridiculous runs. Gabriel, Saliba, Mosquera, Hincapié that can all come in. Ben White, if you want a bit more attacking threat, can come in. You've got Eze, who made that fantastic pass to Martinelli to make it 3-1. Eze just scored a hat-trick, made a fantastic pass. I haven't spoke about Eze, and we're 10 minutes into the video. He was absolutely phenomenal today. You got Odegaard. Like, the team that Arsenal have is the best team in the world. It is really scary. And, yeah, they could win it all. And I don't like that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.